First of all, to hold the driver, obviously you can adjust for yourself, but the universal technique or position is to hold like this. You put your thumb in one ring, the annular, I think this is this finger, and the other ring you give some support for rotation with your middle finger in this corner, and you put your index finger here on the shaft, so you have some support for depth. And with this position you have a lot of movement, free of movement. You can rotate clockwise, counterclockwise, some lateral rotation, and depth. So that's it. There's a number of sizes of this driver. This size I would use for abdominal surgery, when I have to give a lot of stitches, and I don't need that precision. If I am suturing the skin, I don't have a driver for skin right now, but I would use something like this size. Okay, this is a scissor, but just to show you the size. Well, to hold the needle, the way you use is with the help with the forceps. You hold the needle. Try not to use your fingers or your hands, because you can pierce yourself. So with the help of a forceps, you grab the needle on its proximal third and try to put the needle in a very perpendicular direction. So if the driver is here, your needle should be in this plane, in the perpendicular plane, and very close to the tip of the holder. Okay, not here, don't do that, it will hinder you. Don't hold here, hold in the tip of the driver, okay, in a perpendicular position, and grabbing the needle in its third proximal, right? So now I have some free of movement. So let's give it some stitches here. Probably we should, let's create a wound here, There's some tension. I put some staples here, so there's some tension. Let's create, just to inform you, you can hold like this when you want to do a deep cut, when you want to cut very precisely, you hold like a pencil or a pen. So let's cut this skin on its superficial. Okay. So you have approximately 3 centimeters wound, and I know that you learn and you see that this wound goes deep. It's not just the skin, but goes to the fat layer here. And the way some books or some teachers teach this suture, you start from the ends. The problem with that is when the skin is cutted, is wounded, because the position of, for example, of these staples, they are asymmetric, and our body is asymmetric. The skin is pulled in a symmetrical fashion. So look, this is not a perfect fuse. This fuse is more rounded in this part and this part. This one's like pulled in this position. What's the problem? If I start to close from the ends, I will close this part with this part, this part with this part, and I will end up with a little excess of skin here. Imagine that I have closed everything. I will end up with this little excess of skin. So the way I do, I confess I never read this in any book. It's just a matter of practice. It's very simple. What I do is I ask for someone, or can be me, if like it's a little wound like this. I adjust the symmetry. I pull the ends. I create this tension, so I create a symmetric wound, and I start from the middle, and I adjust the symmetry. Okay, because this is, I'm considering this to be a skin, a very little skin wound. I will pass my sutures 1 to 2 millimeters from the borders, from the edges. If I can do this myself, I can ask for auxiliary assistant to pull with his fingers. And I will proceed the suture. This is a forceps. This is a smooth forceps. But in order to grab the skin, the forceps, you should create a lot of pressure in the skin, and this will crush the skin and harm the skin. You always use toothed forceps. I hope my pronunciation is somewhat close, so you can understand. You can use toothed forceps. These teeth are very little, so I can do very precise and atraumatic suture. So I use this kind of forceps. I hold the needle, I grab as I told you to do so, and I can finish I can tie my knot right now. I can use my hands. This is very thin strand, so I would not use my hand on this, but just to show you, I use this technique. Okay. Or more commonly, I can grab this strand with my hand and use the driver. I give it 2 loops, driver over strand, 2 loops, grab the end. I prefer to grab the end, leaving the correct length that I will leave to be removed. Okay, so I prefer to left this length that is approximately 1.5 centimeters, and now I cross my hand, I pull toward myself this hand, and I can close like that, and I can release, and now I can use the nylon over the driver. Now I pull in a different direction. Now I pull the driver away from me and the strand toward myself. And I can finish the same way I started, using the driver, 2 loops over the strand, grab. Now I don't need to worry because it's already knotted down. I can grab the left strand and pull the driver toward myself and the strand away from myself. Now, to cut the nylon, I can hold myself. I hope you can see in this other vision here. I can hold the nylon under my phalanx, pull the left strand with the driver, and use the other hand to cut. Okay? Or I can simply ask for an assistant to cut. But if I'm alone, if I'm not doing this in the emergency room, I can do it myself. So now, well, this is a demonstration. The model is not totally appropriate. It's good, but it's not totally a model for the skin. But I kind of adjusted that asymmetry. If I pull here, you see that it's kind of more symmetric than I started. So I can keep going. I can pull. See? If I pull here, I can adjust the symmetry. And I can knot or suture in middle until it ends. So let's go here. Okay. I'm just grabbing. I can pass through one side and pull out, and pass to the other side. And very quickly, let's tie this knot. Because this length is already on the right size, I can just cut this side. And you see the lesion is almost closed by now. Another option is to pass through everything in one pass. Okay? I can grab a little fat. And do the same. Okay? So you see the suture, it's almost closed the wound right now. Well, you can, if you prefer, if this was a real human, I left approximately 1 centimeter between this and this. I can pass one more suture here, if I prefer. And etc. So I will end up with half a centimeter or 5 millimeters between each suture. Probably this is the most common distance that you need to know. Okay. Well, I think for you can finish your suture there, but for simple sutures, that's it. Okay, but that's not how I do most of my sutures. I use what is universally called vertical mattress or Donati. I find this suture the best. I can use it for anything, basically. And it's the best to approximate the edges. But for sutures, simple sutures like this, to remove this, you just grab one strand or the knot with a very tiny and toothed forceps and use a scissor like this, very pointy, so you can pass under the knot and cut the knot. You don't mistake, you need to cut under the knot, because if you don't do this, you're gonna left foreign body and the suture, okay? And I think for simple points, simple sutures is that.